So in this video, I'm gonna be asking ChatGPT to design me a Fortnite creative map, and we're gonna see if it actually turns out well and gets plays, or if it's a complete disaster. And we're also gonna try to get it into Discovery. So let's just get straight into it. Alright, so I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to design me an idea. So I'm gonna just say, design me a simple Fortnite creative map idea. I want it to be simple and be popular and get a lot of plays. Alright, let's just see what it cooks up. Alright, one room gun game. Cycle through all weapons by eliminating opponents. First to the final weapon wins. Map layout, one single room, small area. Use a box fight map, 5x5. Alright, this could work. I have a good idea. I'm gonna use the Fall Guys gallery, and then I'm gonna make some animated materials that are like super colorful, and then I'm gonna put them on the walls, and then we can make it low gravity, and maybe have infinite sprint on, and this should be pretty good. Alright, so the first thing to do is create a blank island, and ChatGPT told me to call the game One Room Gun Game, so we'll just go with that for now. Alright, so the first thing I did is added all the Fall Guys galleries, and ChatGPT wants the map to be a colorful 5x5 box. So the first thing I did is find a colorful floor, and I found 4 floors, but I wasn't sure which one to use, so I just made them all a 5x5, and after thinking about it, decided just to go with this one. It's the most colorful, and I think it just looks the best. And then I just needed a wall, so I just used one of the previous options for the floors and made it into a wall, but I didn't like the transition between the floor and the wall, so I just found this pillar and changed the color to be red, and that would just be the border of the floor, and I think it makes it look better. So then I just copied the walls around the whole box, and once it was done, there was like the shadow, and I didn't like it. It made the map look dark, so I tried to change the sky, but that didn't really fix it. So I remembered that in UEFN you could just disable shadows on certain props, so I just did that for all the walls, and that fixed it, so the shadow was gone. And then I just had to fill in these edges, so I just found this pillar and changed the color to red, and then just placed it on the edges of the wall, and the box was pretty much complete. Alright, so now it's time to move on to the ceiling, and I'm not sure if ChatGPT wants the map to be build or zero build, so I'm gonna just go over to ChatGPT and ask, should it be build or no build? And we'll see what it says. Alright, no build is the way to go. Alright, so I guess we'll do no build, which is honestly ideal because then we could do a cool looking ceiling. So right when I placed the Fall Guy gallery, I saw this crown, and I thought this would be perfect in the map, but I wasn't sure how to do it. So I think what I'm gonna do is place it on top, and this will be kind of like the ceiling. And I'm thinking maybe when the game starts, everyone falls through the crown, and it will be like a 3-second timer before people can start shooting. But it doesn't really make much sense to have a floating crown. So I looked around for a bit, and then I thought what I'll do is make like a pyramid of pillars, and that'll just be holding the crown up. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna just grab this pillar and then just adjust it so it's kind of on an angle and it's just holding the crown up, and then I'm just going to do it for all the sides. Alright, so this is what we got right now. What I'm going to do is select all the pillars and then just rotate them to fill the other sides. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is adjust these pillars so they're longer on the edges. So I'm going to just do that real fast. Alright, so to be honest, I don't really like this. So what I was thinking is I'm going to delete all the pillars in the middle, and then that should just make it look more simple. Alright, so I deleted them all, and I think this looks much better. And I also just changed the opposite pillars to be blue, and I would say this is pretty good for the ceiling. Alright, so I was thinking a bit of how we can finish up the ceiling, because once players fall through the crown, they'll be able to see the outside of the map as they're falling. So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to extend these walls and then just rotate them outwards a bit. Alright, so something like this, and then I'm just going to copy them and place them around all the edges. Alright, so we got something like this, and this is pretty good, but I think we just have to raise it a bit higher because I still think players will be able to see the outside as they fall through the crown. So I'm gonna just go to UEFN and do this real fast. Alright, so this is what it looks like. What I'm thinking is we'll add animated arrows pointing down, and that will be the animated part for the map like ChatGPT wanted me to do, and players will just fall through the crown. There will be like a 3-second timer before the round starts so players can run around. And I'm thinking I'll also make the walls that we just made disappear once the timer ends, but overall this is pretty good. Alright, so I added the animated arrows, and I also added the spawn pads, and then it was time to test it. And it looks like it worked pretty good, but I wanted to make it so players couldn't fly outside of the crown once the game starts. So I just added barriers around the crown to keep players inside the crown as they're flying down, and now it's impossible to fly out of the crown. Alright, so now I need to make it so once the game starts, there's a countdown, and after the countdown, the walls and arrows disappear just so you can see the sky because I think that looks the best. So I'm gonna just set up some mechanics and try to get this to work. Alright, so after this countdown, the walls and arrows should disappear, and it somehow works. Alright, so I'm thinking about adding some obstacles in the box that are like animated and can push players around. But I think before I do this, I'm gonna actually do the mechanics of the gun game. So it's been like 3 years since I made a gun game, so I just watched some tutorials and it seems pretty easy, so let's just see if I could do it. So I got all the mechanics here, and here is the order of the weapons. ChatGPT wants the final weapon to be a pickaxe or trick shot weapon, so we'll just go with the pickaxe, but it actually works, so the game is almost complete. And then the final thing I added to the map was just some obstacles that push players around inside the box, and I think it just makes the map much more fun. But after that, the map was finally complete. Alright, so just to give a demonstration of the map before we publish it, pretty much when the game starts, players fly through the ground, and then it's just a gun game, just like ChatGPT wanted me to do, inside a 5x5 box. But now it's time to publish it and see if we can get it into Discovery. Alright, so I got the project right here, and let's just get this published. So the current name of the map is One Room Gun Game, and that is pretty terrible of a name, so let's just go over to ChatGPT, and I think I'm gonna say something like, so what should I call the final release version of the map? I want it to be cool, and what I'm thinking is to call the map something like made by AI. So I'm gonna just tell it something like this map was made by AI or something, and give me an idea. So let's just see what it says. How about calling it AI Arena, the final showdown? Alright, this is even worse than the one room gun game. So after talking to ChatGPT a bit, it couldn't come up with any good ideas. So I think I'm just going to call it I asked ChatGPT to make this map. And it's kind of unique, so we'll just go with that. And for the description, since the map is a gun game, I just went over to Fortnite.gg and just borrowed someone's description of a gun game, and then just went back to ChatGPT and asked to refine the description. So this is what we got. So I think this will work perfectly. I then just filled out all the little information about the map, but then I had to make the thumbnail for the map, and since we called the map I asked ChatGPT to make this map, I think it would be cool if we make the thumbnail of the map a screenshot of the map and then just put like a ChatGPT prompt over it. So I'm gonna just do that fast and see how it turns out. Alright, so I got something like this, and I think this will work perfectly. It tells you what the map is, since the title doesn't, so we'll just go with this for now. Alright, so I got everything filled out, and it's now time to publish the map. So now we just gotta wait a bit and see if the map gets approved. So I actually got approved, which I was kind of surprised by because the title is literally the map was made with AI, but thankfully it's approved, and now it's just time to wait and see if it gets into Discovery. Alright, so it's been about a day now and we got 0 players, but I have a plan to get some plays on the map. But I just want to go over to the creator portal and show you some of the analytics. It says we got 171 impressions, so 171 people saw it and 4 people clicked it, which still resulted in 0 plays. But the plan I have to get plays on the map is, what I'm thinking is I'm gonna make a TikTok of the map, and the TikTok's pretty much just gonna be saying how I made a map with ChatGPT, and we'll see if that gets any plays on the map, which will then hopefully put it into Discovery. So I'm gonna just make the TikTok real fast. Alright, so I just made the TikTok and this is how it turned out. So I asked ChatGPT to make me a Fortnite creative map, and it came up with the idea of a 5x5 gun game. So with ChatGPT's idea, I built the whole thing exactly how I wanted, and it actually turned out pretty good. It's pretty much just a gun game, but ChatGPT really did cook on the design, and it's the first map I've ever seen made fully with AI. So here's the map code, go check it out. Alright, so somehow the TikTok is only at 0 views. I don't know if it's glitched or what. So I'm gonna just post it on YouTube Shorts and we'll see if that gets any views. Alright, so it's been about 10 hours since I posted the short, and it's only at about 250 views. So maybe the short is just bad, but let's just see if the map is still at 0 plays. So since I posted the TikToks and YouTube Shorts, it's been about 3 days now of the map being published, and it's still at 0 plays. This is just the reality of making maps in Fortnite Creative. There's no guarantee if it's going to get featured, and I think just with a little bit of time it can eventually get featured. But if you guys want to play it, here's the map code. But thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.